Hello, Frank. I just wanted to let you know that this is a unlisted video, and this is just going to be between me and you. Alright, so first off, you mentioned all the songs from Greatest Hits History Volume 1. Hold on a minute. This is not going to have any cuts or anything. Because Greatest Hits History is essentially, if you look closely, History Past, Present, and Future Book 1. But it's just the History Begins CD portion, which includes 15 songs. I know that you have it, but you didn't have it right away when you were doing your video. I watched most of your video, by the way. Of course, this is the track listing to the first disc of History Past, Present, and Future Book 1. And of course it has on it Billie Jean, The Way You Make Me Feel, Black or White, Rock With You, She's Out of My Life, Bad, I Just Can't Stop Loving You, Man in the Mirror, Thriller, Beat It, The Girl Is Mine, Remember the Time, Don't Stop Until You Get Enough, I Want to Be Starting Something, and Heal the World. Now I do want to point out that a couple of these are not the original album versions. That's why I sent you a CDR of the original versions of those songs. And a couple more, by the way. The one for The Way You Make Me Feel is not the original album version. Rock With You is not the original album version. Bad's not the original album version. I Just Can't Stop Loving You is not the original album version. And I think that's it. I think those are the only songs on Greatest Hits History that are not the original album versions. And that's because of the release. Because these changes happened before 1995 when History Past, Present, and Future Book 1 was originally released. So the reason why I got you those, put down those original versions, is so that way you can listen to them and enjoy them for yourself. And there's a couple other original versions on there as well. Now as for these are really special. The ones that I sent you are really special because there's something that you don't know. Now you probably noticed that they're the same songs, quite a bit of, I should say, quite a bit of they're the same songs, with exceptions, of course. Now, of course, I was going to get you like a Jackson 5 CD, but I decided to wait and ask you first if you want a Jackson 5 CD or a Jackson 5 compilation. Because some of these that are on here are from the Jackson 5, so that's the only reason why I didn't get you a Jackson 5 compilation. Now the reason why these are special is because not all of these are the original album versions. Some of these are the single versions of songs. On both, I should say. I just wanted to let you know, Frank. And that's the reason why I sent you both. Because if they wouldn't have been different, I don't think I would have sent you both. I probably would have sent you one of them instead of both. But they're both special because there are songs that are the single versions. So hold on a minute and I'll point those out. I'm going to start with Michael Jackson #1s. if I can. This is not going to be edited, by the way. Okay, here we go. Alright, I'm going to start with Michael Jackson number ones. Because I know that you don't edit your videos, Frank. Okay. For this, the single versions that are on here, it are Don't Stop Until You Get Enough, Thriller isn't really a single version, but there's a 2003 edit on this one. Man in the Mirror, Black or White, You Are Not Alone, which has the radio edit, Earth Song, which has the radio edit, You Rock My World, which has the radio edit, and that's it. Those songs are single versions or different sort of versions. That's on this. And now for the essential Michael Jackson. And I'll talk about which single versions are on here. Okay. Now this has Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, which is a single version. It's not the album version. Rock With You is a single version. Off the Wall is a single version. Can You Feel It is a 7-inch edit. I Want to Be Starting Something, edited version. Most likely single version. Human Nature. Thriller has the 2003 edit, but you already have the original album version of Thriller, essentially, since that's on the Greatest Hits History Volume 1. The Way You Make Me Feel is the single version. I remember that when I was a kid, when that used to play on the radio. Another Part of Me is the single version. Black or White. I think that's a different sort of version though for Black or White though, because there's a little intro that is different from the one that's on the number one's release. In the Closet is the single version. Who Is It is the single version. Will You Be There is the single version. You Are Not Alone is the LP version. And You Rock My World has a slightly different edit than the one that is on the number ones. So I just wanted to point that out, Frank. And that's the reasons why these are so special. So that way you get different versions of songs on both of these. That's the biggest reasons why I sent you both of these. Otherwise it probably would have been this one. Because I think this has more songs, but both of these are special. Alright. So that's what I wanted to point out, Frank. And I read, I shouldn't say read, I watched your video and you told about the questions. You had problems with you couldn't think of some of the songs that were your favorites. And hopefully I cleared that up for you with the track listing to Greatest Hits History, since it is the same with History, Past, Present, and Future, Book 1. And I told you about what is so special about the Essential Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson #1s, the CDs that I sent you. Hopefully you will enjoy those, Frank. And like I said, if there's any other Michael Jackson album that you want me to send you, let me know, like I mentioned. So what else is there that I'm trying to think if there was any more what I wanted to say to you. Now, you did mention about leaving Neverland, and it said it made you sick. I understand. But you also mentioned a good point, which I'm going to be mentioning in a upcoming video to people. You mentioned that if they're telling the truth, where's the proof? Exactly. You are exactly correct about that. Because I did my review of Living Neverland, and I mentioned that in my review. And if you watch that review, I definitely pointed out that there was no evidence that backs their claims. Because if it was true, they would have evidence. If they're going to come out with this, they should have evidence. They don't have evidence, so it's not true at all. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't believe them in the first place. And there were other indicators as well. And hopefully you watch my current videos. I did my review of Leaving Neverland. I did a mock review for part 1 and a real review for part 2. And then I did a comparison between Michael Jackson and his accusers. And their emotions, how they were displaying their emotions towards talking about their abuse. And when it compares to Michael Jackson, it's no comparison, really. I felt that Michael Jackson was much more believable when he talked about his abuse. Hopefully you watched that video. And just in case you haven't watched any of my Leaving Neverland related videos, I will post them down below in the description box, so that way you can watch them for yourself. I'm not sure if you watched them or not. You might have. But I'm just going to put the links down below in the description box of those particular videos. But I didn't believe them one bit. And I'm going to answer some of the questions that I asked you. Because the thing is, if you answer them, I have to answer them. And of course I answered #1. I didn't believe them. And it didn't make me sick at all. It was unbelievable at best. I didn't believe them for a bit. It got so boring. And you can definitely check out my reviews of Leaving Neverland. My favorite album is Thriller, by the way. That's pretty easy. My favorite music video is Thriller. That's because it was so unique. And I can't answer some of the questions because I have most of Michael Jackson's CDs and most of his albums. But if I had to get an album that I'd want to get that I don't have, well, there's a couple of them. I already got Thriller on vinyl and CD. I got Off the Wall on vinyl and CD. It'd have to be Bad on vinyl. And I'd like to get the 25th anniversary editions of Thriller and Bad on vinyl as well. So that answers that question. And was I happy that Michael Jackson was found innocent? Yes, I was. I was definitely happy. And after doing research, I found a lot of lies. And I found out that the accusers were definitely lying. And if most people would have thought that they were lying, I don't think there would have been a trial. I definitely wouldn't have thought there. I definitely would have thought there was not going to be any trial. And the trial never should have happened in the first place. The only reason why it happened was because of that stupid documentary called Living with Michael Jackson. And they basically thought that he slept with other kids and sexually molested them. That kind of caused the trial to happen in the first place. And just in case you want to do any more research about that, I can definitely give you links to that particular trial, just in case you wanted to know. There's tons of information. There's court documents, and there's stuff that you could want to know if you wanted to. So that's that. And by the way, how did I feel when Michael Jackson died? I've done videos on that. I was devastated. I almost cried when that happened. It still hurts. It still hurts. He was one of my idols. He was definitely one of my idols. And that really hurt. That really hurt me. And I was getting Wi-Fi at the time. Or not Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi didn't really exist yet. I was getting broadband internet, and it was definitely a lifesaver after having dial-up for quite a bit of years and uploading videos at a slower pace. And could only put like 1 or 2 minutes on my video. And that just depends on the gigabytes of the video. Thankfully, when broadband came and I was able to get broadband for the very first time, it made things a lot easier. But a good day sadly turned into a really sad day for me. My idol passed away and I was devastated. I got broadband internet on the day he died, which was quite sad. And I talked about this in my video about Michael Jackson when he passed. And I almost cried that day. And what I did afterwards, I played his music. I only had Michael Jackson #1s and the Essential Michael Jackson at the time. And what makes them so special is because there's different versions, like I mentioned. But I played them after he passed away. And I also had a CD release of Bad as well. And that was before I decided to really collect. I just really wish he didn't pass away. He was going to do concerts. He was going to do his This Is It concerts. Never happened. So that answers all the questions that I asked you. And I'm glad that you enjoyed your package. Like I said, if there's any other Michael Jackson release you want me to send you, let me know. And I was thinking about sending you, well, if they still had it released, I was thinking about getting you a separate release of History Past, Present, and Future Book 1 that only includes History Continues, because there is a separate release, but I'm not sure if it's still available or not. Because the thing is, it was recently released on vinyl on picture disc, and they only included History Continues. I don't know if you have a record player or anything like that. That's the main reason why I sent you CDs, is because I wasn't sure if you had any. I wasn't sure if you had a record player for that matter. I have a record player, and I do play records here and there. I do want to eventually collect more vinyl records for Michael Jackson, since I only have a couple. But that's all I really wanted to tell you, Frank. Like I said, if there's any album, Michael Jackson album, that you want me to send you in the near future, let me know. Like I said, your questions, and I'm always willing to answer them, are appreciated. So thank you very much, Frank, and I hope you enjoyed the package that I sent you. This has been my unlisted video for you and my response. Thank you very much. And if some of the questions that were hard that you wanted to answer are answered, you can definitely answer them down below in the comment box. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see each other someday, face to face. Peace out. And I'll catch you next time, Frank. And I hope you enjoy my videos. You've been a fan for quite a bit of time. I think it's almost been 10 years, actually. Thank you very much, Frank, I should say. Thanks for being a fan. Later.